going to do Penelope Cruz's natal chart. Okay, so let's get started. First thing is first, I went to see her videos yesterday, and the first thing that I saw about her was her attitude and the emotion that she puts into her acting that is just so realistic. Like, this is one of the most realistic actresses that I've seen out there in Hollywood, that when she acts, it just looks so real. And it has to do with the third house, okay? Third house here is loaded with a stellium of 3 planets that are considered maleficent and very serious. And it's in the third house of communication, of the voice, of speech. And it's in Cancer, which is quite moving, okay? Now, I want to say something because someone had commented the other day why I don't use the whole house system, which basically means that by the ascendant, you don't cut it where it's supposed to be. You cut it, like if it's Aries, you start from here, which means that the stellium will fall in her 4th house, and it really won't make much sense, basically. So Aries will be her 1st house completely, Taurus will be her 2nd house, and Gemini will be 3rd, and so forth. And the stellium is clearly in the 3rd house because the way of the way that Penelope communicates, and this is one of many examples. I would use only the whole house system when it comes to transits, okay? But when it comes to natal charts, you want to be as precise as possible because it's kind of like painting with a palette with so many colors that are like the fingerprint. Not everybody has it, but if you limit yourself to the whole house system, then you're kind of being like a little lazy and you're just cutting, just to cut and just to make it easier for you, but you're missing a whole spectrum of colors, of shades, and, of mixes, okay? And yes, the whole house system is the oldest system used because they didn't have the technology that we have today to have the precision to cut the houses precisely. So it was much easier for them to just use the whole house system, okay? But today we have, technology, thankfully. Okay, that gives us certain precision that will give us, the luxury of having the palette, okay, that really gets deeply into our personalities. Okay, enough of that. So Penelope Cruz has a stellium here in the 3rd house. She's got the moon, she's got Mars, 4 degrees, and she's got Saturn, okay. Emotional stability is very important to Penelope Cruz. And I've noticed in her acting, this is why she looks so concerned when she speaks, okay? Because when she feels like her emotional state is getting compromised or she feels insecure, she can become a little defensive, okay? Having here Mars, okay? And I saw one of her clips with Scarlett Johansson and her acting, and even when she's not acting, okay? I saw her in Ellen DeGeneres the other day. Even when she's not acting, she has a very big command in her voice, and it stems from emotionality, okay? And also she feels very secure. She's a very confident person. I gotta say, having the moon here in Cancer, she's a very confident person, okay? When she speaks, she's very secure in herself, but she needs the security here in Saturn from other people as well, okay? And when she speaks, she has a very emotional tone in her voice, having it here in the 3rd house. Now, we also have to see she has in the last degrees of Aries. Okay, she's got her rising sign, her ascendant, which makes her very bold as well. As it in the last degrees of Aries, which is sort of cusping Taurus. Okay, and that makes her very persistent and determined person with having that cusping ascendant. She also has Mercury 00 degrees in Taurus, which is kind of like conjuncting her ascendant. Okay, semi-conjuncting her ascendant, which communication is very important to her, and she has to make sure that what she says is thought through. And you could also see it in her acting. When she could be quite witty when she speaks. Okay, she's got a very sharp tongue because she makes sure that what she says is will make sense, and she's very careful about what she says. She also has 7 degrees the sun in the 1st house of self, of ego, and of physical self. She's a very beautiful woman, and Taurus rules beauty. Okay. Also, she also looks a little younger, and she doesn't seem to be aging, and that's because she's got Mars in Cancer. Mars symbolizes our physical attributes in the chart, and Cancer is like the baby of the zodiac. You always see like baby faces. Okay. Keanu Reeves also has Mars in Cancer. I did his chart if you guys want to check it out, but he never seems to age. Same with Penelope Cruz. Sun here in the first house means that you want to be noticed. Okay. You want to be the center of attention, and even though you may not, display it, but it's something that could also be secret, but you just yearn to be acknowledged. Okay, acknowledged like a star, as a very special individual. Okay. Now, Penelope Cruz has 22 degrees in Pisces in the 11th house, and she also has Jupiter 10 degrees in Pisces in the 11th house. So social network is very important to her. Okay, and I also have to mention here she's got Venus trining 22 degrees the moon in the 3rd house. Since here in the house of society, that is beautiful, that is artistic, that's very understood because it has Venus here in Pisces. Pisces is a very understanding sign, trines her moon. So people know where she's coming from. People accept her impulsive behavior when she speaks, okay, her command. However, she's got 4 degrees of Mars squaring intense Pluto, 4 degrees in the 6th house in Libra of justice. And she's got here 25 degrees of Uranus in the 6th house of routine, of health, and of work and of service. So her schedule could be quite a mess sometimes. Okay, she has problems attaining balance and having a schedule that works for her. Okay, maybe she's scattered all around, but at the same time, it's very important for her to have, control over her life, over her schedule. And I don't know if she smokes in real life, but I've seen her smoking in pictures and photography and in films. Maybe that's the anxiety she has. She needs to have that control over her life, and it's very strong with her tongue. Okay, Bruce Lee, I believe, if I'm correct, has a square of Mars and Pluto. It's very intense, man. They make really bad enemies. Okay, and you could see it in her movies, Pirates of the Caribbean, how feisty she is. Okay, and having the moon here semi-squaring Uranus means that her behavior, what she says in the 3rd house, could really be unexpected sometimes. Okay, during her day and her routine, people won't really expect it. But however, people do like her. She's very likable in social networks and in her dreams and in her goals, and she's got big ones, as she's got Jupiter 10 degrees here in Pisces, having to do with art and acting. And I saw an interview of her saying that she wanted to really be an actress. This was her big dream. Okay, and Pisces rules acting, rules music, rules the artist. Okay, so this is something that she's really skilled at doing. Okay, she was meant to do. Now, she's got the aim at the 8th house of death, of transformation, of death, and of other people. And having the direction going to the 8th house means that she seeks depth. She seeks something that's real. Okay, she seeks also power in her life, control. Having here in Sagittarius means that's what's going to give her the freedom. Okay, that's what makes her feel so free. However, she's got Neptune 9 degrees here. I'm not saying that it's in the way of the North Node, but it is in the same house. Okay, which signifies that sometimes she could be a little out there when she, her visions could be a little out there and maybe not, not realistic, which this is why it sort of gets in the way of her North Node of where she's aiming. Okay. Now, the perfect partner for her it's a blend between Pisces and Aquarius, and he's like an artist, and he's smart, and he's intellectual. I don't know if, her man is like that. I would have to really check into that, but that's the one she really has to look into. The one that she has to pretty much watch out for is probably a mama's boy that is probably two-faced and, doesn't really do what he says. Okay, she's got here Mars in the 3rd house of Gemini in Cancer. Okay. She also has here Venus semi-squaring her North Node. Okay. Maybe something that happens here in the 11th house, maybe dealing with friends, the envy of friends. Maybe people envy her friends, because this is the house of friends also, the 11th house. Could also interfere with where she's heading, okay, her depth, her integrity, okay, her power, her control. So that's something that she probably has to watch out for, and we don't even know it, but it's her friends, and maybe she doesn't have too many friends, okay. So this has been the natal chart for Penelope Cruz. If you guys want a natal chart reading, please go to the description below, and all the information is there, and I'll be happy and glad to give you a natal chart reading. Namaste, guys.
Hey guys, check out my music channel where I write my own music, sing and play piano. Make sure to subscribe.